It's me, handsome. I'm here with my peoples. You got to my right.
Got your boy Big U, aka Big Chef General, BG Thunder 77 on all things social. What's good, people?
To my left.
Yo, J.O. High Times on all my socials. Check out Tapping Radio on Mega Park Radio every other Tuesday. Give a chance, 8 p.m.
And to his left.
Oh, it's your boy John, Moody, a.k.a. one half of Moody Bros, a.k.a. Lust Activator, your favorite R&B DJ.
Lust Activator.
Moody Bros on all handles, shout out to my guy Moody. You know how we do.
All right, man. So look, man, we here back with another episode of Verse Reverse, where today's artist is another legend. Last week we had two legends on that one. We spoke about Jay-Z, Eminem.
Yes, sir.
This week we're going to talk about, rest in peace, the legend Tupac. You know what I'm saying?
I get around.
And we're going to talk about one of his verses that, for me, that is really fire, dope, heavy, dropping gems. And we're going to talk about what makes this verse dope and fire, you know what I mean? We're going to probably talk about pieces of the other verses that's dope too, but for me, I want to get into this first verse, you know what I mean, where he starts off, I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? Ooh. I'm tired of being poor and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. Cops give about a Negro, pull a trigger killer, he's a hero. Giving crack to the kids, who the cares? One less hungry mouth on the welfare. All right, we're gonna stop there.
First ship them dope.
So I wanna first be clear, Jay. This is my man J.O.'s. Is this your favorite rapper?
Definitely.
This is J.O.'s favorite rapper, so I had to get him up here to talk about Pac.
I want to say my first favorite rapper. There's been additions to that, but this is definitely the first rapper that I ever gravitated to in a sense of like, he's the best. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so, he starts off talking about he sees no changes. You know what I mean? Is life worth living? Should he blast himself? Damn. How you feel about that, bro?
It's ill. Like, when I think of Pac, I always think of like one of his last interviews where he said he wouldn't necessarily be the person that changed the world, but he would be the spark to the world being changed. And then
he would put the spark in somebody that is going to change the world.
For sure. And seeing how the world has grown since and changed so much since, specifically with a song like Changes, is kind of ironic that he's had such a, like, he speaks on so many things that are prevalent, and one of those being like when you speak about wanting to blast yourself, mental health, with mental health being so prevalent right now, and understanding the ramifications of like having or not having your mind together,
right? To
think about back then, to where there's really no other exchange of camaraderie with that other than music, because there is no social medias to where you could be like, oh damn, a motherfucker, because most people go through things in silence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially stuff that involve
community.
Yeah, especially in our community. Yeah. Especially with things regarding mental health.
Word.
So for him to say a line like that, then it shows you how real it was. You know what I'm saying? Because,
and I mean, so for me, I got a cousin who committed suicide. So yeah, so when I hear that, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? I can't ever go that route.
Oh nah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, I get the thought. I get the thought, you know what I mean? So it's dope that he's putting it in a rap. But I think we all should know life is worth living. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like, yeah, we all go through things that are, some things worse for others, but we are all special and we should be here and we have something to do on this earth. God put us here for a reason, so we shouldn't blast ourselves.
For sure. I agree with that. I think certain lines are just to
he's highlighting
to catch
facts.
the artist. You feel? Because it's
exactly.
like, if you don't hear that, you don't necessarily get to address that or even make that statement if in the creative realm of what like making music is. It's like, if you listening to this, it's like, damn, okay, something that I may have been suffering with in silence because of what's going on. I'm definitely not a proponent of that. I think if and if you're a follower, I don't want to say follower, but if you follow Tupac's career, you know you've heard certain conversations he spoke on. I don't think he would ever be a proponent of that too.
Right.
It was more or less to I believe to kind of like highlight the human in him, in the sense of we all go
Facts.
through crazy thoughts sometimes.
We think about
you know
it.
what I'm saying? We
Facts.
think about some wild shit. We upon self, we in the hood, it's messed up. And even back then, you thinking 93, 94 when a lot of these raps was wrote.
So look, after that he goes in saying, because should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor, and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch.
That's a whole lot of
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
like a whole day.
Like it almost feels like he don't even want to rob people. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely
He don't want to
Yeah.
look for a purse to snatch, but he's so poor.
Yeah.
His stomach hurts. He needs food. He needs money to get food. So
For sure. What'd he say with that?
But he said I'm black.
yeah,
Even worse.
I'm
Even
black.
worse, I'm black.
But Peepaw, another one of his
He's tired of being poor.
poor
And even worse.
and even worse to compound that.
He's poor and black.
And that again, it goes back to that ties into another interview of his where he spoke on like what do you like the relations between the government and the poor people, the ghettos. You know what I'm saying? You asking for things, we need help. First that help is, we need help. You go to the door, you sing, help us please, we hungry. You go back again, you sing, please help us, we hungry. The next day after that, you knocking, I'm hungry. Then after that,
inside they eating steaks.
you
and
see
whatever.
them, they throwing around steaks, and you see them eating. After that, it's like,
We no more knocking.
now I ain't knocking no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm kicking down
Get
the
up in
door,
there.
and we
Yep.
got to get up in there. So
So he goes in right after that. Cops give about a Negro, pull the trigger, killing. He's a hero. Get a crack to the kid. Who the hell cares? One less hungry mouth on the welfare. That right there is crazy, bro. Because like we said, when this song came out in '98, but
98,
he was dead before that, so
Yeah.
he had to write it '96-ish,
95
right?
ish, 96 ish.
So it's crazy. Cops just been killing black people.
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
They've
that was
been
a problem
killing us.
then.
And they don't care about us. They kill us, and they looked at us heroes because as black people, we looked at as bad people. No matter where we go, they kill us for wearing a hoodie because they think we're thugs because we're wearing hoodies.
That's still wild to this day. That
We got
one,
people
like,
running in neighborhoods getting shot because they're running. They looked at like they're robbers or something.
Yeah,
People sitting in their house getting shot on their couch. You know what I mean?
that
And
was
it's just
insane.
and other cops is looking at them. They putting knees on necks and they looked at as heroes, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
sure.
You know what I mean? That he was talking about this.
Dudes punching girls in the face. Punching
yeah,
little teenage
recently,
girls
yeah.
recently.
Facts. That
Crazy.
was at my
Island.
school, 51. That's where I
Yeah.
went. Yeah, that was 51.
Yeah.
Get a crack to the kids. Who the hell cares? One less hungry mouth on the welfare. Another one. They're mad that they put us in the ghettos the way they did, and then we eating off of the government. So they don't even want us to get the little bit that we getting from the government.
That they
So when they
created.
kill us, they're happy. Like, okay, we don't got to feed them no more. They don't got to get no more money. That's crazy, bro.
It's definitely wild.
Pac
It's
was
definitely
talking
wild.
real crazy.
He was talking very hot back then.
First, ship them dope and let them deal with brothers. Give them guns, step back, and watch them.
kill. Yeah.
Seth, talk about it, man.
Yeah. Nah, he
Talk
was,
about it.
He was I think the beauty in this song is that he knew what the assignment was, or in his mind anyway. He had a purpose when he wrote this song, and it wasn't going to be saying a whole bunch of fancy raps and doing he came there, this is a message that I'm trying to give out, and I want to keep it in layman's terms so that people understand exactly what I'm saying, and those types of rhymes were not being put out. Like people was rapping about how much money they was getting in this, and they, and he came out and said, nah, this is this is what it is. This is the reality. And I think that's why that song is classic, and it will stand. It would never, it would never go anywhere.
So just this line, give them dope, let them deal with brothers, give them guns, step back. Like I'm thinking like Snowfall, right? Because obviously I didn't live.
I swear I was just
right?
thinking about that.
I didn't live through Iran Contra and stuff. I read about how they.
COINTELPRO, like
Coin-
all of this.
Cointel-
They've been
yeah,
doing this
right.
You
since-
know what I'm saying? And I was just thinking, Snowfall is really the government getting the drugs and bringing it, giving it to the black people to sell.
yeah.
We killing each other over this money and drugs and stuff. They giving us guns so we can really kill each other. That's crazy.
He was telling that story back then.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
this is not even that far removed.
but they
from
said
those times.
Snowfall is based on who?
Johnson-
Rick Ross.
So that's back, you know, back in the days too. So
but
the
what
story,
I'm saying is that it was that was known then.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't even a story that, you know what I'm saying, was being told. That was history in the hood at that time.
And he came up around the politics of the Black Panthers, and like he came up knowing he knows.
So
what
he
it
was
is.
fearless in
so
a
next
fearless
line,
in a lot of ways.
next line. It's
He know
time to
what it
fight
is.
back. That's what
Yeah.
Huey said.
He know
2
what it is.
shots in the dark. Now Huey's
He
dead.
highlighting
Damn,
everything.
That was crazy.
And,
Wow,
but
man.
even that. So what
was
is
crazy.
he saying about himself if he's recognizing that if you speak up about the things that are wrong that's going on,
They
something
kill
could
you.
Yeah. So but he's saying I'm gonna say
Well, that's his
I'm
part
ready
as
to
an
die.
artist anyway, and then, I mean that
Saying
turns into
anyway.
a different type of conversation as well too, because a lot of his music, you know, highlighted that fact as well too.
Yeah.
Like just knowing that, you know, when you start speaking in a certain way and just knowing, you know, what can possibly happen. You know what I'm saying? If you choose
If
to
you
start,
know, they say if you know too much,
Well,
Yeah.
hey, shout out to Matulu Shakur, man. They just let him out of jail,
word,
right?
word, shout out
You know
to
what I mean?
God, word,
And
that
that's
was just
you know
released him.
that's Tupac's step pops. You know what I mean? And he knew a lot of this stuff. That's why they try to silence him. They try to lock him away. You know what I mean? Just
also,
you
I mean,
know,
he did do that robbery. He said he
supposedly.
did rob that no
Supposedly.
Trump.
look, Pac's next line. This is where for me, I like I said, this verse is dope, right? I got love for my brother, but we can never go nowhere unless we share with each other. We got to start making changes. Learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers. That right there.
Yeah, that's heavy.
I mean-
that's so tough. That's so tough because you know how many times, and I'm guilty of this too. And every time I
We
do
all
it
are.
these days, I get so mad at myself. You walking by yourself. You may be you may be walking the block. I walk through Manhattan, the city, a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you see other brothers that look, you know, maybe aggressive or like yourself too. So you don't throw on that smile, inviting type of energy. You throw on that I'm ready to go type
You
of energy.
believe in the same thing that they've
yeah,
been-
you know what I'm saying?
they got us
You
conditioned,
believe in the same thing that they condition you to say, and especially when you coming from these areas to where you've seen it happen, it's hard to shake that at times. You know what I'm saying? So that's so important because we all should be a little bit more conscious of that. We all should make it our business to
Facts.
not do that because
And that's why, you know, the song is called Changes, right?
For sure.
Which is so, you know, it's like, you know, even though he starts off saying, I see no changes, you know what I mean? He talks
Yeah.
about all the changes that we need to start doing.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean? Because this is all things you got to be, you know, like conscious about, like you said, you know what I mean? Intentional. When I see them, when you're talking about you see black people, I make it my duty to smile and let them know I'm
Brother.
on your side.
Yeah.
yeah.
good,
We
brother?
brothers, I'm on your side.
For
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
because once you do that, that might lighten the load for them. Like, oh,
sure.
nah, this okay. He's cool. You know what I mean? So, you know, that line right there is because I
Heavy.
think that's a big issue. You know, not for nothing. We were just having a conversation in the car about certain situations that's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I just want them to understand I'm looking at them as brothers of mine and you're hurting me by doing certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got love for you. I would hope you got love for me back and don't want to hurt me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. But they got that game on expert right now, man.
And that's how it's
Always
supposed
has
to
been.
be.
Yeah.
How can the devil take a brother if he's close to me? I let her go back to when we played as kids, but things change.
Damn.
And that's the way it
way it
is.
is.
And that's where that gives me chills, bro.
Yeah, that's
Because it's like everything he's saying, like it almost feels like he knows it's gonna be so hard to actually get people to do these things.
Yeah.
No matter all this stuff I'm saying, whatever I'm doing in the streets, trying to help the community,
But that's just the way
that's the way it
That's the way
is.
it
No
is.
matter what I'm telling them, they still killing each other. They still want to fight each other. Another person just ran down on somebody in the hood. This one shot that one. He robbed that one. Ran in their house. That's just the way it is.
No,
No, it's
The
dope.
reality.
What's dope though is that most songs, even that are like this, they highlight problems. But he put the problems out there and then he gave solutions.
Yeah.
Because usually that's what people say. Okay, you always talking, you know, but what do we do about it? He
Facts.
told you we got to start seeing each
Facts.
other as brothers.
Yeah.
We got to start taking care. We got to, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of time people don't do that.
That's a fact. Solution based.
That's a
Just
fact.
speaking on regurgitating the same problem.
So I want to ask y'all a question. Like we're gonna get I want to mention the hook because the hook goes, "That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same." What are they talking about when they say things will never be the same? What do you think they're talking about?
I think because a lot of times when you speak on history of our people, it always starts from the wrong time.
Fact.
Like,
That's
it's
fact.
been all bad. But I think what he was saying that's just the way it is currently. Things won't ever be the same in two ways. One, how they've been for us because of where we come from, but then two, on how they are now. You know what I'm saying, towards the future. But when you speaking on like where we truly come from, and it won't be in the same as far as like our family structures. Things have changed. Things haven't been the same since that time. When you think about us as a people, you'll think that the way a lot of these stereotypes have it, to whether it be single mothers and things like that, you would think that goes back to from when they were the first. You know what I'm saying? One of us it was, but that's just not the case. That's more recent than anything. Up until like the 50s, 60s, 70s, most people was raised, especially in our community, with their mother and their father in their life. You know what I'm saying? So. I think it highlights the wrongdoings and how,
So I got a question for y'all now about Pac. Was he the changes that he's talking about?
I feel like he had the range. He had the ability to be.
Was he?
I would say in many ways, yes. We kind of touched on this in the card too. Is when you're put in certain positions, you have to walk a line that is very thin. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, you're not in the same. You're not the expectations are not the same as the average person. Your ability to make mistakes and learn from them on your own is not like the average person. So you have to be able, especially when you're trying to galvanize too. You have to be able to pull from both sides. One of the tenets in Christianity, Muslim, most religions is, in order to be considered a Christian, you have to speak to sinners. You know what I'm saying? You have to spread that message, not just to, the good, but the bad as well. Yeah. So you'll find a lot of holy people in the midst of a lot of bad. So it's easy to conflate the two. So I think that, Pac he created a bravado that caught the ear of many of his listeners, because most of his listeners was coming from the same exact pain. But I think in that same breath, he trick bagged them into hearing a message that they didn't think that they was gonna hear, that they wasn't expecting to hear, that they may have never heard before. So
like I said, this is your guy. So I appreciate you saying all of that. But Seth, you was there. I feel like what I mean. Pac's time. Like, is that how you feel? Like Pac, was he a good guy?
So a good guy in the sense of he was a true guy to me, and at any given time. So he was a human being.
Facts.
And as an artist, we artists, if you're going to write a song about something, you may be in a mental state at a particular time that you're going to represent where you are in a particular place. So I know there was a joke and somebody was talking about people, you can't wake up in the morning all tough and hard. You gang banging on bacon. Like, yeah. So even no matter how a thug person is or nice or whatever, there are going to be times where you are unsure of yourself. You're going to be in love.
For sure.
You're going to get your feelings hurt. You're going to have fun. You're going to cry. You're going to be angry and want to enact violence on somebody. And I feel like he represented all those things so truly in his rap, where it was like wherever he was at that time, I don't think he was trying to put on at a time in his mind. If this is where he was at, that was in
this
his
is what it was.
He was going
this was
there,
it.
And that was why he was respected to me. Like,
because I asked this because obviously Pac had Thug Life tatted across his stomach.
Yeah, but it's an acronym.
You know what I'm saying? It was. That's what it was.
Yeah, it doesn't mean Thug Life.
What does it mean? You don't know?
I know it.
Okay. All right.
I'm telling you, I know it, but I'm just saying it's an acronym
Okay.
for something
like
greater
teaching,
than. It doesn't mean Thug Life.
Teaching something, if I'm
You know what
not
I
mistaken.
mean?
But yeah, definitely is an acronym.
It's an acronym for something.
On the tattoo, you see the dots.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I say all of this to say, we talk about other parts in his verses. Like in the second verse where he's talking to the guy, and he said, "Operate the easy way. I made a G today," which made it in the sleazy way. So. Did Pac not sell drugs? Like, do we know? Like,
nah. Pac didn't sell drugs.
Okay,
he was a drug dealer.
Right.
Well,
hold on. So now I want to get to the third verse where he says, smack you up. I gotta stay strapped. No.
Yeah.
As long as I gotta stay strapped and never get the lay back. Always worry about the payback. Some punk that I roughed up way back, coming back after all these years.
Rat tat 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 tat.
That's the way
That's
it
the way
is.
it is.
That's the way it was.
I don't think that. Go ahead. First of all, let me see where you going with
so boom, like so
see.
for me,
Where you take me with this?
So for me, you know what I mean? I feel like in order to grow, you know, when we talking about brothers and all of this, you have to be willing to take some L's, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing. Somebody's coming back with payback. It just keeps going back and forth, back and forth. That's what we do, right? It's always revenge, and that's why I was telling you I wanted to talk about my expert opinion with Troy Ave. He said if he dies, he wants his people to push the crime rate. He wants to keep going, keep killing. He said that's the type of time he's on. You know what I mean? And for me, that's just not the way. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not the way for a better life, for somebody to feel like when does it stop?
Yeah.
It won't ever stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So when I hear Pac saying that, it's like I never get to lay back. You know what I mean? You gotta understand, definitely protect yourself, right? But it's also a mentality, man. If you can push yourself to be positive and give off that energy, yeah, there's people that's gonna hate, but you know you gotta have faith that God's gonna protect you if you're turning your life around. And you know, I think you put that in there. Some punk that I roughed up way back, rat tat. He's talking about what's gonna happen to him already.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He manifested that.
Yep.
Yeah. I definitely can see that. I definitely can see that perspective, but I think that's also a part of it. Too, I think again when I think Seth mentioned this is Pac to me he did a good job of speaking on all areas of a problem. He didn't just say the good without the bad.
He ends it with that's just the way it is.
He didn't. Yeah, unfortunately, there are certain realities about the world that even if you are going to invoke change, you have to understand what battlefield that you're on.
Facts.
So if you're on a battlefield where that's the reality or the common reality of our day, then that's a reality. And there's not even, look at how we talking about it now. Look at how you put in that perspective, like look how wrong that is. I believe that was a part of the reason he's saying like, damn, look how fucked up it is. Look how we be treating each other. Look how it gotta be that.
Facts.
Even this person who's a rapper who, you know, he may have just roughed up he's explaining how messed up it is. All we did was fight. I just roughed him up. He's saying it as, I mean, that's man-to-man conflict. You can't expect no world conflict and you know, peace is a duality to it in a sense. So, but to go to that extreme is kind of crazy, you feel? But that's the reality of how I live, is because at the end of the day, although I do believe that, you know, it shouldn't be back and forth, I am a proponent of being able to protect and value one's life. Nobody's, and you know, growing up in a certain manner, you learn there's two different you know, ideologies when it comes to, you know, serving God in a sense. There are some that would say that they're soldiers in the army of the Lord, to where you're gonna get a more aggressive approach than you would with your typical follower of God in a sense. So I do believe that, you know, God, he gives warriors, he gives soldiers, and he gives, you know, messengers and things like that. So as long as you are approaching things in a godly manner, I don't think that like that's the wrong thing to say. Like, I'm gonna protect my life. I'm not coming at you. I'm not disrespecting you.
As I read the lyrics, are we saying? Because like I said, I'm looking at it again. Coming back after all these years, rat tat 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 tat.
After all these years,
is that him getting rat tat tatted,
or
is that him doing the rat tat tatted?
It could be. He didn't really say what it was.
You feel me?
It could be him. Look at how
he knows. Like,
look. But look. Ultimately, and you said manifestation. This is how ill-ish is. It was necessarily nobody that he roughed up way back, but how he died allegedly. He was killed by somebody who he roughed up.
That's what I.
Crazy.
When we spoke, because I feel like he spoke a lot of truth, and then he gave some solutions to things. But I think that a part of the solution to, because we are supercharged as young black people, whatever, we are supercharged in our lives against each other, against the man,
against everything,
against this. So I think a part of the message that's missing a lot of time is humility and being able to be like, we are not able to be humble, but
Nah.
it's not our fault.
Our
though.
pride is our biggest downfall.
We are not
bro.
able to be humble. Like we
Yeah.
cannot be beat up. If somebody get beat up, they're gonna kill somebody. If somebody gets embarrassed, they're gonna kill somebody. If somebody, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like, calm down. It's okay. Live to see another day.
Live to find another day.
Exactly.
Well, look, man.
We use these.
I think we covered
He definitely
that
spoke a lot on
amazing
some craziness though.
I think we covered that amazing verse by Pac, you know what I mean? And Changes. The song is amazing, the hook, all of
Classic.
it.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this is verse for verse, you know what I mean? It's me, Handsome High. We got
Big U, the general.
and
J.O.
my boy.
You already know. Moody, John, Moody Bros, holla at your boy.
Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. and
All
stuff.
that goodness.
All that.
Comment, share, everything.
Peace, blessings.
Yay.
Yeah. These biting my style, I hope they got dental plans. So get it straight from the source and cut out the middleman. Get that.